What if a fake sci-fi movie made in Hollywood was the only thing standing between 6 Americans and a firing squad? No guns, no soldiers, just a forged script, phony posters, and a fake film crew walking through the gates of hell. This isn't fiction. This is the true story of Operation Argo, when imagination became the most powerful weapon of all. Welcome to Past to Present, the channel where we don't just talk history, we feel in the middle of a burning revolution. One man planned the impossible. Tony Mendez, a CIA officer known as the Master of Disguise. He didn't carry a gun, he carried fake passports, masks, and movie scripts. His plan: smuggle 6 Americans out of Iran by pretending they were a Canadian film crew scouting for a sci-fi movie to sell the lead. Mendez became Kevin Harkins, Hollywood producer, but no operation this crazy works alone. Enter John Chambers, the man behind the makeup and Planet of the Apes and Mission Impossible, a Hollywood legend, and now an undercover asset. He built the fake studio, printed posters, took out ads, everything to make this movie look real. Then came the stars of The Escape, the Canadian 6 American diplomats hiding inside the Canadian embassy. They were hunted. Trapped pretending to be actors and crew was their only way home, and the threat: the Iranian revolutionaries, militant students, armed with rage and rifles, watching every move in Tehran. They had stormed the U.S. Embassy. They were hunting Americans, and they had no idea they were being fooled by a fake movie. Operation Argo wasn't just bold, it was genius, a covert CIA mission designed to rescue 6 American diplomats hiding in Tehran after the U.S. Embassy was stormed during the 1979 Iranian Revolution. The plan: disguise them as a Canadian film crew scouting locations for a sci-fi movie, a movie that didn't exist. This wasn't just espionage, it was theater. What made it special? First, disinformation as a weapon. The CIA didn't just put on disguises, they built a full-blown Hollywood illusion, a fake studio, a fake script, even ads in real industry magazines. They called the movie Argo. Second, spycraft meets showbiz. Everything had to feel authentic: the posters, the press releases, the production company phone line. None of it was meant for cameras. It was meant to fool revolutionaries at the airport. Third, the movie was never supposed to happen. Argo was smokescreen, a lie wrapped in celluloid. The goal: make the lie real enough to walk 6 Americans out of a hostile country right under their enemy's nose. This Operation Argo didn't happen in a vacuum. It unfolded during one of the most dangerous chapters in modern history. 1979, the Iranian Revolution. The Shah was overthrown. A wave of Islamic revolution swept the country, and with it came chaos, rage, and deep anti-American sentiment. Then it happened. Militant revolutionaries stormed the U.S. Embassy in Tehran. Dozens of Americans were taken hostage, but 6 escaped and vanished into the city. They found shelter inside the Canadian embassy. That's when the CIA stepped in. From November 1979 to early 1980, a rescue mission was quietly being built. Fake movie scripts, fake producers, real passports, all part of what became known as the Canadian Caper. And then came the moment of truth. January 1980, Tony Mendez landed in Tehran with him. Cover story of a lifetime, and with that cover, 6 terrified Americans walked straight through Iranian security and boarded a commercial flight to freedom. This wasn't just a rescue mission, it was a story told across 4 key locations, each one carrying its own weight, its own symbolism. Tehran, Iran, the danger zone, the heart of the revolution. This is where it all began. Angry crowds, armed revolutionaries, and a U.S. embassy under siege for the 6 Americans in hiding. Tehran was a city full of eyes. One wrong move, and it was over. It was fear. It was real. It was deadly. Then Hollywood California, the illusion factory thousands of miles away. The CIA built a lie in a city built on make-believe with help from Hollywood insiders like makeup artist John Chambers. They created Argo, a fake sci-fi movie. They printed posters, placed ads, even held script meetings. It had to look real because lives depended on it. Back in Langley, Virginia, inside CIA headquarters, strategy came to life. This was where the cover was approved, the identities forged, and every risk calculated down to the hour. Langley was the nerve center, where intelligence met imagination, and finally, the Canadian embassy in Tehran, a safe house, the last shelter before the escape. Without it, the plan never would have worked. Asterisk, why use art, acting, and a fake sci-fi movie as a weapon? Simple, because the alternative was bloodshed. During the height of the Iranian Revolution, a military rescue wasn't just risky, it was almost guaranteed to end in death. The city was hostile, the guards were armed, the streets were boiling with rage. One wrong move, and the 6 Americans wouldn't make it out alive. So instead of bullets and bombs, the CIA chose a story, a fake movie, with a real purpose, because film crews don't trigger alarms, storytellers don't look like spies, and art, believe it or not, disarms suspicion. The brilliance of Argo wasn't in its action, it was in its absurdity. Who would believe a Hollywood film team was scouting locations in Tehran during a revolution? Exactly, that's what made it work. Fiction was safer than truth. Diplomats would have been arrested, but actors, producers, they walked out untouched. So, how do you lie your way out of a revolution? You do it step by step, and you don't just tell a story, you become the story. Step 1. The script. The CIA wrote a full movie script, not just scribbles on paper.